Hello, my name is Jonathan Moore, and this is my pitch for the game I like to call Laser Bird. Okay, imagine there's an eagle that suddenly has heat vision and is trapped in a rainforest. The player will play as this eagle and try their best to fly out of this dangerous forest without crashing and burning. In this 2D side-scrolling game, the player is playing as an eagle, as mentioned before, that flies up when they click and hold a mouse or tap and hold a screen and falls back down when they let go. By doing this, they will have to dodge obstacles and destroy enemies like the vultures and cracked stones. There will also be coins throughout the level for the player to collect to increase their score. The player will also be able to lay a max of 3 eggs into 3 nests that they find throughout the levels for bonus points. The only catch is the nest will be hard to get to because of surrounding obstacles like the vultures, stones, thunderclouds, or trees. Finally, when the players reach the end of the level, they will encounter a big vulture, aka the boss, that they have to defeat to proceed. The score the player receives depends on how many vultures they kill, how many coins they collect, how many eggs land in nests, and the completion of a level. Now let's talk about the decisions. If the player comes along a tree, they will obviously want to fly above it or else they'll die, and vice versa for the thunderclouds. If the player comes along a vulture, then they have two options. The player can either avoid it or they can kill it with their laser, and same thing for the cracked stones. If the player comes along a vulture, then they have two options. The player can either avoid it or they can kill it with their laser, and same thing for the cracked stones. The only difference is that if the player kills a vulture, he gets points for it. The player will also be able to make the decision to lay an egg or not. A player would definitely want to lay an egg in a nest if the nest is open and it wouldn't be too difficult to get to. They may not want to lay an egg in a nest if the nest is hard to get to and the player only has one egg left. At the end of the level, the player basically has no option but to kill the giant boss vulture at the end of the level. Some play possibilities that the player may want to try to do is they may try to get the highest score possible by killing all the vultures, laying all the eggs successfully, and collecting all the coins. The player may also want to attempt to achieve the lowest score possible by doing exactly the opposite thing. Now here are some similar games that I thought were similar to this game. Flappy Bird and Jetpack Joyride. The only difference between those games and this one are that the player can shoot lasers. The player isn't trying to fit in between two pipes. The player can lay eggs into nests for bonus points. There are levels, and the player fights a boss at the end of each level. And the only risks I believe are involved in this game are the amount of time the team creating the game will have and the skill level of the whole team. That's all I have for this pitch. See you next time.